Hello, my dear friends. A Pleiadian perspective on humanity's quiet transformation. Across the world today, millions of people are asking a quiet but powerful question. Why does it feel as if something beneath the surface of our world is slowly changing? Not in a dramatic way that appears on the nightly news, but in subtle ways that people feel internally. Some describe it as a strange calm, a moment of stillness. A feeling that humanity may be standing at the edge of something significant. In spiritual communities, this feeling is sometimes described through symbolic messages attributed to what many call the Pleiadian perspective. These messages are not presented as literal extraterrestrial broadcasts or scientific statements. Instead, they are usually shared as spiritual narratives that invite reflection about human consciousness, collective growth, and the evolving story of our species. Within those teachings, one phrase appears again and again: the calm before the storm. But what exactly does that phrase mean? Is it a warning of chaos, or a metaphor for transformation? To understand this idea, we have to step back and look at the bigger story many spiritual traditions have been telling for thousands of years. Humanity has always lived through cycles of change. Human history is not a straight line. It moves in waves. There are periods of stability, followed by moments of profound transformation. Civilizations rise. New ideas emerge. Old systems slowly fade away. Think about the major shifts humanity has already experienced. The agricultural revolution changed how humans lived on Earth. The scientific revolution changed how we understood reality. The digital age connected the entire planet in ways that were once unimaginable. Every one of these moments felt uncertain to the people living through them. When massive transformation begins, it rarely announces itself clearly. Instead, it often begins with subtle signals. Questions start appearing in people's minds. Old assumptions begin to feel incomplete. And gradually, society starts exploring new ways of thinking. Many spiritual traditions interpret the current moment in human history as another such transition. Not necessarily technological this time, but consciousness-based. A growing curiosity about consciousness. Across the world today, discussions about awareness, meditation, mindfulness, and consciousness are becoming more common than ever before. Practices that were once considered obscure or alternative are now widely discussed. Scientists study meditation. Psychologists explore emotional awareness. Philosophers debate the nature of consciousness itself. Even people who have never considered themselves spiritual often feel drawn to questions such as: who are we, really? Why are we here? What is the deeper nature of the human mind? These questions are not new, but the scale at which they are being explored is unprecedented. Some spiritual teachers interpret this growing curiosity as a sign that humanity may be entering a period of expanded awareness, a gradual shift in how people perceive themselves and their relationship to the universe. Within the symbolic framework of Pleiadian teachings, this shift is sometimes described as a movement from a more limited state of perception toward a more integrated understanding of life. Not an instant transformation, but a gradual awakening. Why transformation often begins with inner change. When people imagine large global changes, they often picture dramatic events. But historically, the most powerful transformations begin quietly. They start inside individual minds. A new idea appears, a new perspective spreads, and slowly, millions of people begin thinking differently. Over time, those internal changes reshape the external world. Consider how ideas like human rights, equality, and scientific curiosity spread through history. At first, only a few people embraced them. Then more individuals began exploring them. Eventually, entire societies changed. From this perspective, the calm before the storm does not necessarily describe an external crisis. It may describe the quiet moment before a wave of internal human change begins to reshape our collective future. The symbolic role of the Pleiadians. In many spiritual traditions, symbolic narratives are used to communicate deeper ideas about consciousness and evolution. The Pleiadians, in this context, are often described as an advanced perspective representing wisdom, higher awareness, and cosmic unity. Whether one interprets these teachings literally, metaphorically, or purely philosophically is a personal choice. What matters is the message behind them. And the message shared through these narratives often centers around a simple idea. Humanity has enormous untapped potential. According to these symbolic teachings, human beings are not merely passive observers of the universe. They are active participants in its unfolding story. Every individual thought, emotion, and action contributes to the larger collective experience of our planet. From that perspective, awakening is not about waiting for something external to save humanity. It is about recognizing the creative power already present within human consciousness. Emotional preparation during times of change. One of the most consistent themes in spiritual teachings about transformation is the importance of emotional preparation. Why emotional preparation? Because when old systems begin to change, uncertainty naturally arises. People may feel confused. They may feel excited. They may even feel anxious about the unknown. But emotional awareness allows individuals to navigate these transitions with clarity rather than fear. Instead of reacting impulsively to every new idea or event, emotionally centered individuals can pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully. This is why many spiritual traditions emphasize practices such as meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection. These practices help individuals develop inner stability. And inner stability becomes extremely valuable during periods of external change. The storm may be a metaphor for growth. When the phrase storm appears in spiritual narratives, it often represents disruption that leads to renewal. In nature, storms clear the air. They redistribute energy. They create the conditions for new growth. Similarly, periods of social and psychological transformation may temporarily feel chaotic. Old assumptions are questioned. New ideas compete for attention. But out of that complexity, new forms of understanding often emerge. From this perspective, the storm is not something to fear. It is a symbol of growth, a new era of self-discovery. If humanity truly is entering a period of expanded awareness, one of the most important steps individuals can take is self-exploration. Self-exploration means asking deeper questions about personal beliefs, motivations, and values. It means recognizing that each person carries unique experiences and perspectives. And it means allowing curiosity to replace rigid assumptions. Spiritual teachings often emphasize that transformation begins with self-knowledge. The more individuals understand their own thoughts and emotions, the more consciously they can participate in shaping their lives and communities. This process does not require abandoning reason or scientific thinking. On the contrary, curiosity and critical thinking are essential. Exploration of consciousness does not have to conflict with logic. It can complement it. The power of compassion and cooperation. Another theme that appears frequently in spiritual narratives about humanity's future is the importance of compassion. As awareness expands, individuals often begin recognizing the deep interconnectedness of life. Every human being shares the same planet, the same atmosphere, the same fundamental need for safety, dignity, and purpose. When people become aware of this shared reality, cooperation becomes more natural, compassion becomes more meaningful, and communities begin finding creative ways to solve challenges together. In this sense, awakening is not merely an individual process. It is a collective one, a moment of quiet reflection, The calm before the storm may simply represent a moment of reflection, a pause before humanity enters its next chapter. During this pause, individuals have the opportunity to explore their own inner landscapes, to reconnect with curiosity, to strengthen emotional awareness, and to approach the future with thoughtful openness. The world may not change overnight, but change often begins with small shifts in perspective. And when enough individuals begin exploring new ideas simultaneously, the ripple effects can become surprisingly powerful. Looking toward the future, whether one views spiritual teachings as metaphors, philosophical reflections, or symbolic narratives, they often point toward the same essential message. Humanity's future is not predetermined. It is shaped by the choices individuals make every day, by the level of awareness they bring to their thoughts, by the compassion they extend toward others, and by the curiosity they maintain about the unknown. The calm before the storm may simply be an invitation to explore consciousness more deeply, to approach the future with courage rather than fear, and to participate consciously in the unfolding story of our species. Because if transformation truly is underway, the most powerful preparation is not external, it is internal. The quiet strengthening of awareness, the cultivation of emotional balance, and the willingness to remain open to possibilities that humanity has only begun to imagine. Final reflection. Across the world today, many people feel that something subtle is changing. Perhaps it is simply the natural evolution of human culture. Perhaps it is the result of technological connection and global conversation. Or perhaps it is something deeper, a gradual awakening to the extraordinary potential of human consciousness. Whatever the explanation may be, one thing is certain: humanity is still learning, still evolving, still discovering new ways to understand itself and the universe around it. And sometimes, the most powerful transformations begin not with noise, but with silence, the calm before the storm.